You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Well, now, Don, so much to speak about today, but before we start, Don...
Well, as long as your mood is not like it was when I greeted you in the street, and you've done your shirt up, you all right now?
If I have to leave and go off mic...
you're going to go off your tree, are you?
If I have to leave and go off mic while I'm speaking, it's because someone has parked in our car space.
So that sent you off. Is that the reason you're off your tree today? Because someone's parked in the wrong car spot?
Someone has parked in our car space twice in a row.
Ooh.
And I'm asking you, if you went to someone's business, Don, and it had the name of the business there, would you park, if you weren't going to that business, would you park in that business's car spot?
Well, they don't realise that you've got a problem, and that's
Would
being
you-
a control freak.
No, Don.
This is just upsetting you.
I'm asking you a question.
There's plenty of other car spots.
I'm asking you a question.
Well, why
would
don't
you
go
park...
and let their tyres down?
Now, Don, it's no good talking over me until I finish what I'm asking you and then you speak. Would you park in someone's car spot with their name on it if you weren't visiting that premises?
Well, I wouldn't, but they do.
Right. Well, because they're rude and they're ignorant. And so
You've got to be tolerant.
If not about that, I don't. If I leave the microphone,
You're going to go and bop them, are you?
I'm not going to go and bop them.
You used to in your younger
Speak
days.
into the...
Well, it's in my face. You all right? It's up my throat, up my mouth, the microphone. Anyway, shout-outs.
Now, first of all...
I've got
Don,
some shout-outs.
First of all, it was your birthday yesterday.
And it's yours tomorrow.
Don, let me get into a subject and then you bring one up. It was your birthday yesterday. This is everyone listening around the world. This is what I'm dealing with. It's his birthday yesterday, so I sent an emoji on my phone to him. It was a woman eating a cake. Woman eating a cake. So he rings me.
In a seductive manner.
Doesn't matter if it was a seductive manner or not. The emotion was she was eating a cake, a multi-layered cake. And he rings me, Don, and he says, did you send me a picture of a woman eating a cake? And I said, I did, Don. What did you do that for? I said, well, what is today? He said, it's Wednesday. And
It's Tuesday.
Oh, you're all right, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I said, is it your birthday? He said, yeah. I said, well, would you think that is a birthday greeting from me, a woman eating a cake? On what other occasion would you think that someone would eat a cake? At Christmas, maybe? Or when else would you think you'd eat a cake?
Having a coffee? Morning coffee?
This wasn't. This was a big cake, and it was obviously decorated for an occasion.
The way
And
she
I
was
said, "Do you
shoving
think-"
it into her mouth.
Oh, but that was a joke, Dol. I said, do you think that would be me sending you birthday wishes because it's a birthday cake? Oh, I see. Seriously, honestly, if you couldn't work that out. So the whole idea of me sending him birthday was lost on an argument over what he would be eating a cake for and why I'd be sending that.
Well, why couldn't you just put a little thing, happy birthday?
Oh, because I was
Everybody else in the world does, but you send a bloody woman eating a cake.
Yes, because I was trying to be a little different,
A little different. You're off your tree.
I was trying to be a little humorous, a little off key, and lateral.
You don't have to try. You are off key and lateral.
Because I was sending it to someone who is more off key than anyone I've ever met. So that's the first. So that's the first thing.
Do you think it's got anything to do with you're a Sagittarian, are you?
No.
Oh well, I think I am.
You are, you fool. If you don't know you're a Sagittarian when your birth date falls, you're a Sagittarian. Now, Don, also just quickly, I think we single-handedly might have got Anne Peacock over the line as a she's been inducted onto the committee of the what's it called, the VRC, Victorian Racing Committee.
How did we help?
Well, we said that she's standing a couple of weeks ago, and I reckon what got her over the line was the people who listened to this thought, oh, I better vote for Anne Peacock because she's a friend of ours and we wished her well, didn't we?
But she wouldn't come on the podcast, or what about
No,
Anne?
we didn't ask her to come on the podcast.
Oh, didn't we?
No.
Oh, okay. But people who avoid this show seem to get elected, don't they? Andrew Gowers.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Anyhow,
I
I
sent congratulatory wishes to Anne. And
Oh, did you?
Said, of course, because she's a friend of ours, Don, that's why. And I said, well done. And I said, we must have got you over the line by mentioning you on the podcast. And she said, oh, no, I don't think so.
How did she say it? How did she say it?
Well, it was a text, so it's a bit hard. But I think if I could have put the text into words, it would have been, oh, no, I don't think so.
That's very masculine.
Well, oh, no, I don't think so. So anyhow, we are claiming a small amount of credit, a lot of credit for getting Anne onto and well done to her. It's fantastic.
Talking about Andy Gowers.
I wasn't talking about Andy.
Well,
I was talking about Anne Peacock.
Yes, but we mentioned about you'd be pretty busy, wouldn't you? Christmas, New Year, trying to get this game of golf in.
Oh, yeah, no, Andy.
And the coffee. You've got a coffee with Gil. When is that going to happen? The coffee with Gil, and now you've got a game of golf at Royal Melbourne with Andy.
That slobbering suck up.
Who, Andy?
No, Gil.
No, you got a coffee with him.
Yeah, well,
you're going to fit it in between Christmas and New Year. You're not doing anything.
Has he left the AFL yet? Because there'd be no reason to.
No, I think he's there for a while. Yeah.
What? I thought he was going. Maybe he hasn't found any great cause to get involved to make himself look virtuous and righteous and see if he could save the world.
No, he'll go to Brisbane.
As well as throwing his friends under the bus. Now, Don. Andy Gowers, Andy said he'd like to play golf with me down at the Royal, out at headquarters.
Or Point Lonsdale.
Point Lonsdale, yes.
Your hometown.
Well, and he's obviously got a holiday house there, very expensive real estate down there. And Andy thought, well, maybe... but now that he's been elected, I think I've been given the arse at golf. Because,
do you think so?
Yeah, but he did interviews with everyone else, except he wouldn't do one with us. Maybe because of you, Don. You might have asked him some hard questions, or even some questions, because the people we interview, you never ask any questions. Or if you just let me do it all, then you suddenly say, oh, by the way. And I say, yes, Don. And you go in with some inane, stupid fucking question. Now, so Don.
What about shout-outs? I got 4 of them.
Go ahead.
Scott listens. I won't mention their name. They get embarrassed. In
deference to the doctor from Sydney, Dr. Fordham, who said, do not do shout-outs at the start of the show. Right, do content. But happy Chrissy too, Doc, and Jody up there and all the little nippers.
Benny and the Jets.
But please don't think bad of us or ill of us because we're doing the shout-outs now. But if we don't do them now, we'll probably forget them. Go ahead. Well, I've got a lot of topics.
Have you really?
Australia Day, gays giving blood.
You've done your shirt up. When I saw you, that's good. Where did you come from this morning? You had a surfboard in the passenger seat.
Sex toys I've got. There's a new
What, you got one, have you?
No,
bought some?
A new slant on sex toys. These are all real topics that are in the news. Sex toys, gays giving blood, Australia Day being changed by Channel 10, fat Santas being banned at shopping centres because they say fat. Yeah, they say it's not a good look to have fat Santas.
Santa had a
fat-shaming people who dress up in... Can you believe this?
No. Those Santas put a little cushion in their under their uniform.
No, mate. I've just read it up. Do the shout-outs.
Okay, Scott. Now, all these people don't want their surname mentioned, but Scott is a chiropractor and he has not missed...
Is that the bloke who played for Hawthorn?
Don't know.
Right, go on. I know a Scott who played for Hawthorn called Scott.
Don Scott.
Who?
Don Scott.
Bon Scott?
No, he's dead. He was ACDC.
Who's Don Scott?
Played for Hawthorn and South Melbourne. There was one played for South Melbourne
Don Scott?
Yeah, played for South Melbourne as well.
So
anyway, Scott, he has not missed an episode. How many episodes have we done?
178 this is. The
178. We've done more than that. We've been going 4 years. Anyway, he hasn't missed an episode. Then there's Michael. Now, Michael is a very intelligent man. He's a lawyer. He gets all his current affairs from listening to us.
We've been going nearly 4 years. If you think we do one a week...
We do 3 a week.
You fucking idiot. We do one podcast a week with three different segments.
Okay, well, that's 3 times. Don, you're doing this on purpose. People say, are you really as stupid as you make out? Wouldn't matter if we did 15 episodes. We do one podcast a week. And we've been doing, and this is 177. If you divide 50 into 177, which is the amount of weeks in a year, that is about 3.5 years worth of podcasts. Well, I'm going to talk to Scott next time I see him and tell him how many podcasts he's listened to. But he said everyone, he hasn't missed one. And Michael, let me get on to Michael. He, very intelligent.
Who is Scott? Who is that?
I don't know. He just, you get it. Don't you people just come up to you in the street?
Go on then.
And Michael's a lawyer, very intelligent man. Gets all his current affairs from listening to us.
Well, if he sticks around, we've got plenty today.
Well, anyway, there's Michael. He hasn't missed an episode since it started. Gary got on to me. He says that he must have bought a hat, Gary. He said they are expensive. You know the hats, you cannot be serious, the bucket hats and all the rest. Listen, Gary, if you're listening in, buy a T-shirt. The T-shirts are value and they look good.
If you go and buy Nike shoes or you buy Christian Dior perfume, or if you go and buy, what's a fashion brand, Calvin Klein, they make the same factory in China makes them.
Know.
And
so what are you telling me?
Well, they put on a premium because it's the brand. The brand of You Cannot Be Serious far exceeds the cost of the hat, and that's why we sell them at a very reasonable price. And the T-shirts are coming out mid-January. And
are they really?
Has michaelchristianmenswear.com.au up your bum, michael.christian.menswear.com, has he had some orders for the T-shirts?
Where from?
The crew T-shirts. Where from? I don't know where from. He says there's back orders for the T-shirts. Really? You Cannot Be Serious.
Well, I'd wear one of those red ones, those T-shirts.
Well, you can buy one from him, Don. They're coming out next. I've got to buy the hats from him.
You do? What do we get out of this?
I tell you, Mitchell Jones. Do you know who Mitchell Jones is?
Tell me.
He's Tony Jones's son.
Tony Jones from...
Yes, him. That from Channel 9 and 3AW.
From Box Hill. Lives in Box Hill. That Tony Jones. I don't know where
he lives, Don.
He's filling in for Neil Mitchell.
Jones.
Is that the one filling in for Neil Mitchell?
Yes, that's right. He's a star. Now, Tony rang me and he said...
Tony rang you?
Tony rang me.
What about Mitchell?
Shut the fuck up. Tony rang me and he said, my son Mitchell always listens to the podcast.
How old's Mitchell?
Don, I tell you what, in a minute
You'd only be 6,
knock you out.
Tony.
Shut up.
Tony's not that old, is he?
I'm finishing the story. Not a story, I'm finishing it.
Oh, it's a fable.
Tony Jones rings from AW, Mitchell Show, Channel 9.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. He's Chicken Man. He rings me up and he says...
Do you think he's prostituting himself, Tony Jones, by putting himself out to so many... He was doing the swimming the other night, hosting the swimming, the short course swimming. He's very... Do you think he could be the second Eddie Maguire?
Have you finished? Tony Jones rings me up and he says, my son Mitchell likes the show and never missed an episode. Could I he said, could I purchase 2 hats, a bucket hat and a cap, a golf cap hat with You Cannot Be Serious? And I said, yes, Tony, I'd be happy to give you 2. And he said, no, I'll want to pay for them. And I meet him here and I give him 2 and he took the money.
He came all the way to Port Melbourne.
Yes, Channel 9 is half a mile away from here.
Oh, it's not out in Richmond now?
No, Don, hasn't been out there for 10 years. So Tony comes down here and I give him the 2 hats for Mitchell and he said, I insist on paying, and I said, I insist on you not paying. Yeah, this is, well, you're welcome. So Mitchell listens to the show and he's got a bucket hat, and the only reason I say this, because I said to michaelchristianmenswear.com, I said, mate, I've had to give a couple of hats away. I haven't had to, but I've given it just PR. And he said, all right. He said, I'll send you over some. He said, who do I send the invoice to? I said,
oh, you.
And I said, Mick, please.
Oh.
Good. Send half a D over, half a dozen. What are they? 39.
Oh, they're a rip-off.
How much? They're not a rip-off.
They are. Gary told me.
Don.
He fronted me in the street, Gary.
Gary who?
Gary, what?
Gary who? Yeah. Gary who?
He's not Asian. He's a Caucasian. Gary. Not Gary who.
Bloke walked into a milk bar and said to the Chinese bloke behind the bar, he said, is there anything such thing as Chinese Jews? Do you got any Chinese Jews in your... And he said, no. He said, we ain't got orange Jews or apple Jews. He said, we don't... Didn't you think that was humorous? Listen to this, Don. Listen to this.
Hang on, I haven't finished the shout-outs.
This parrot.
A parrot.
A parrot eats a Viagra tablet and its owner puts the parrot in the freezer to cool off.
Hang on,
The parrot swallows a Viagra tablet.
Yeah, well, that'll increase his blood flow.
And his owner puts him in the freezer just to cool off because he thought, geez, the parrot's gone mad. So he opened it about an hour later and the parrot is sweating. And he said, how could you possibly be sweating in the freezer of a refrigerator? And the parrot said, have you got any idea how hard it is to open the legs of a frozen chicken?
Now, we've got another shout-out. Dion. Now, Dion laughs at this
Any
podcast.
idea how hard it is to...
Yeah, okay,
open
come
the
on,
legs
righto,
of a
we're just
frozen
moving on. You
chicken?
don't have to give us a punchline. Everybody's got it and I've got it. And what do you want me to do?
Yeah, chortle. A bit of a humorous intent to show that you'd got it.
Yeah.
So I don't think you get half the things I say.
No, you're right.
Go on then.
Dion.
Got
Dion.
topics coming up shortly, everyone.
Dion, no, I've finished. Just one more shout out. He listens to the podcast at work and thinks it's humorous. Do you think you question his intellect?
Don.
How do you spell Dion? Is it D-E-O-N or D-I-O-N?
Yes, all of the above. Depends
Really?
on the idiosyncrasy of the person naming his child or their person.
Anyway, he's a nice fellow, Dion, and he listens. So they're the
Do you
four...
ever know? Do they ever tell you what they do or anything? The shout-outs
but
I get.
they all want to remain anonymous. It's funny. We listen to... I'll give you a shout-out. Oh, no, don't do that, don't do that.
Well,
they get embarrassed. Do you think...
Speaking of that, michaelchristianmenswear.com.
He doesn't get embarrassed.
Oh, shit, no.
He loves it.
He sent over, these are the people who contact him about getting
Oh, here we go.
crew neck T-shirts or the hats. And he said one of them, he said, Bazza from Burke.
Burke?
Bazza from Burke. No, that's not his name, not Barry Burke. It's Bazza from Burke.
Burke in New South Wales.
Fuck, do I know where Burke
Don't
is?
swear.
Well, I don't know. It just says Bazza from Burke, and he said he didn't want his surname mentioned either because his wife thinks that he's still missing in action in Vietnam. So he said, don't mention his surname. His missus thinks he's just in the hills somewhere in Vietnam and hasn't come home.
He's at the back of Burke.
He's living on the Gold
in a
Coast
humpy?
with some Sheila. And also Paul. See, I get the names. Paul Baker. This is from michaelchristianmenswear.com up your arse. Paul Baker from Shepparton. He wants a shout out because all these people contact Mick for their hats and their crew.
I wonder if he knows Kim Bussell from Shepparton.
Is Kim a man or a woman?
Don't know.
Well, why did you say that then? You don't
well,
know.
it depends on how you spell it, wasn't it? It could be
Well,
K-Y.
do you know
it
Kim
could be
Bussell?
Well, it could be K-Y-M.
Do you know Kim Bussell?
Well, I know a Kim Bussell.
Well, is she a man or a woman?
Don't know. I'm
or
just
is
wondering
she
how she's...
non-binary?
Yeah, it could be the way she spells it. It could be K-I-M. Which is feminine, which is masculine?
Kim is K-I-M is a man. Do you know this
Kim
person?
Hodgman for North Melbourne. He was K-Y. He was a rover. K-Y-M.
Do you know Kim Bussell or Bussell or Bussell? Did you say Bissell? What did you know? Do you know Kim?
Well,
is it a man or a woman? That's all I'm asking you.
Well,
Wait till I give you the definition of the Cambridge Oxford
the Cambridge Dictionary have brought out about a man and a woman, the definition in a dictionary. I'll read that out in a minute. This is one of the topics. So Paul Baker from Shepparton. This is a shout out. Kieran is from England. Not New England, I don't think, up in the mountain. Kieran.
It's a bike race, isn't it? Kieran? A Kieran?
Oh, it's a beer. It could be anything, Don. It's a beer. It's a bike race. It's this man's name. I presume it's a man from England. He wanted a shout out. Mick has sent over "You Cannot Be Serious" hat to England. I don't know where in England.
Cost him a fortune.
Sam Parsons. Sam Parsons. This is a shout out. He's a dairy farmer. I don't know where, but he's a dairy farmer. He wants one of the hats.
Well, he'd listen to the podcast when he's milking the cows. It's a pretty boring work milking cows. All you do is change.
I think.
What?
I think he would probably have a machine that does that.
Yeah, but he's got to change the machine.
You stick a suction thing onto the tits of the cow.
Yeah, but he's walking up and down.
Did you ever stick a suction kit onto the tits of a?
Onto my old fella.
A suction
what
thing
do you mean,
onto
the milking cups?
A suction thing onto the end of your old fella.
Well,
Don.
it's similar to the teeth of the cow.
Save your wrists.
No, I didn't.
No,
I haven't, to answer your question.
Yeah. Save your arms and your wrists and your fingers if you just put a suction cup on the end of your dick. Yep, and it'd just do it for you. It'd really probably take the enjoyment out of it, wouldn't it? I don't know. Now, this is...
but where's his farm?
Now, this is... Have a listen to this. This is... I said I don't know where he's from. It's Kaiser Ryan.
Kaiser who?
Kaiser Ryan.
Oh, bullshit.
K-A-I-S-E-R Ryan from Hobart. And he works at, wait for this, Tool Trends.
Where is he from?
Hobart.
Not New Norfolk.
Well, Don, I just said he comes from Hobart.
Yeah, but New Norfolk's a suburb, I think.
Well, I'm only reading out that shout out. Tool Trends he works for. Tool Trends. What does that mean? That must be where we get the suction cups to put on the end of your dick.
Worries me he comes from Tassie.
And here's just a final shout out. This is from me. 180 Wines. They're in the Clare Valley. They're small batch winemakers. And the owner is overseas in America perfecting the brew or the vintage.
Where do you get this shit from?
They say they listen to the podcast 180 Wines.
What's he doing in America?
Topping up on his education about blending certain wines. They're a small batch winemaker. And if you're interested in 180 Wines, they're on 180wines at gmail.com. And I'm told...
But they're in the Clare Valley in South Australia.
They are. I'm told, because I don't drink, I'm told that they're...
You used to.
Small... I did, Don.
You used to wipe yourself right out. You were an idiot on the grog.
I'm told that the small batch winemaker called 180 Wines are probably as good as you can buy.
Really?
I'm told that, but I don't know because I don't drink. So they are then the T-shirts... the crew T-shirts that you think are good, the red ones with "You Cannot Be," they are available in mid-January. Mick has rushed into production from Vietnamese sweatshops that make them. He has rushed into production, and I think it's all sourced from Tasmania. The T-shirts, or the embroidery is anyhow. The T-shirts.
He's got a factory going down there with illegal workers.
No, the underage children in Vietnam, they're still making them, like all the products that are made everywhere. So there we are. So that is that. Now, Don, I did mention. So I did mention about the T-shirts. Well, we've got. This is the first topic. We've got a competition because now I'm not making this up. This is true. The FDA, which is the Federal Drug Administration. FDA is the Federal Drug Administration. People in America have announced and decreed that gay people can't give blood, or bisexual people can't give blood for, I presume, obvious reasons. They think that they might have
AIDS or monkeypox, I don't know. No, I'm not making this up. And the gay fraternity, they've come out with their own T-shirt, not like You Cannot Be Serious, but they've come out, their new T-shirt is made from, and the new T-shirt says, Blood of Gay Men. It says you can donate, they say, the T-shirts say, Blood of Gay Men. So they said that gay men should be able to donate blood to the blood bank. And the FDA said, no, we're not taking blood from gay people. I'm not saying this, the FDA are, because they think it might have a risk of not being kosher, and of course they might have monkeypox, which is a particularly a disease.
Yeah, so get to your point. What are you saying? Well, trying to say, I should say. You're stumbling around.
Well, would you rather buy a You Cannot Be Serious T-shirt, or
in
would you rather
want
blood from gay?
I'd rather wear
blood from gay people
because
T-shirt.
I really do like that. Who was the lady we had on from Brighton? I wear her T-shirt. She never got into Parliament.
No.
It was pale blue with yellow writing across it. It's a very nice T-shirt as well.
Blood is blood. T-shirts address the inherent homophobia and stigma involved in the FDA's blood donation ban on gay and bisexual men.
Yeah, no,
so that's what they've said. Would you like to have a transfusion of blood from a gay or bisexual man, Don? That's what the FDA is saying. And they're taking the risk out of it. They're saying, no, we won't accept that. So that's their T-shirts, and our T-shirts say You Cannot Be Serious. Which T-shirt would you rather have?
You can't be serious.
Of course, Don, of course. So that was that. Now, Don, did you notice? Now, I'm going to read out, this is the definition you talked about. This is the definition of a man and a woman. This is how I did say about Fat Sanders. A health expert is, listen to this, this is a topic. A health expert is calling for Fat Santas to be banned, claiming a portly St. Nicholas sends the wrong message to people, that you shouldn't be fat. That is fat shaming half the population for a start. And also, if you can't work out that someone, fat man, Santa, man or woman, or binary or non-binary or trans-binary or whatever, if you can't work out that someone might have a pillow stuffed down their front to make them look jolly and round and ho-ho, but no, you've got to have anorexic. How would you like to sit on the knee of an anorexic Santa?
I wouldn't like to sit on anybody's legs. I wouldn't sit on any Santa's knee.
Face?
No, nothing.
No. Well, imagine if you had the bloke took this to the extreme, said, right, we're not having fat Santas in the shopping centre, we're having anorexic Santas. And please, kids, don't sit on his knees because you'll break them and then we'll be sued.
Did your mother bring you from Point Lonsdale to Myer when you were a young boy to see Santa?
Yes.
Yes, I did too.
Yes,
I came from Box Hill with my
mother. We looked in the window, the Myer window, and cried.
Yeah. Wasn't that that was done by a bloke called Freddie Asmussen. He was in charge of display. Freddie Asmussen. He'd now be dead. Asmussen. He was in charge of the windows and display at Myer. And they were certainly a thing. There was a theme for each window, wasn't it? And it was fascinating the way they... That took 12 months to do and create.
Did. And now it's been discontinued, hasn't it? Because
it was just... and that's our... and then we'd go out on the way home, we'd go out through and see the lights in Ivanhoe.
Yeah, and that's been banned too.
Has it really?
Yeah, that was banned because it was too much electricity or something.
Bullshit.
I tell you, I went out with my grandkids and my son out to look at them, and they said that it was an extravagant use of electricity and they'd half been banned.
Is that right?
Yep, that is right. I don't know if it's still happening, but they and the police were driving around looking for people who had lights on. No, it's serious. Now, I was trying to find you the definition of what the Cambridge Dictionary said that a man and a woman was. You won't believe this if I can find it.
Well, while you're looking for it,
you
didn't happen to watch the cricket.
I didn't, no.
Okay. I've never seen a greener wicket in all my life as what was produced in Brisbane. And the other thing that came to my attention was the fact that as a society we are growing. Now, there's a boy called Cameron Green. I think he's 6'8", plays for Australia. And South Africa had a fellow, a Jansen, I forget his Christian name, Jansen.
What are you saying?
And anyway, they're both about 6'8", right? And I looked at both of them come out to bat. Now, the bats were made back in years gone by. Okay, cricket bats are a certain size. Do you think these boys should have bats that are in proportion to their size? I know you can have... I don't think they are. I think you can have 1.5 inch difference in the bat handle, but these fellows can't get down, and if they're standing upright, the ball could go under their thing because the bats are not made, and society is getting bigger and the athletes are getting bigger. So why don't these fellows have longer blades in their bats?
Because their arms are longer than people who are normal size.
Yeah, so but they're bending over.
So therefore, if their arms are longer, the whole size of the bat is irrelevant because their arms reach down to get the normal size of the bat.
You did not watch the cricket,
like
so how can you comment?
It's like golf clubs.
What happens to them? I got longer golf clubs. Specially made.
They make them about 1/2 inch longer.
Well, mine are special where I don't have to bend over with those short things.
Oh, you don't even play golf.
I did. I was playing for a while. I'm hopeless.
You're hopeless.
I am.
You are hopeless because you rush at it like a bull at a china shop, like you did golf. You got no finesse. You got no rhythm. You just go and you belt the shit. Where'd that go? Fuck it! What a shocking! And then I said,
I haven't got hand-eye coordination.
You've got no hand-eye coordination.
Nothing.
So Don, let me tell you, this is where the world's
anyway,
headed.
the cricket people should look at bats and making, because society is getting bigger and they're not being accommodated.
Well, that's why they don't want fat Santas in there, because they're asking people to slim down. So this is in the Cambridge Dictionary, right?
For what?
For a man. This is the definition of a man in the Cambridge Dictionary.
Here we go.
No, Don, this is where the world's headed. What
are you bringing this up for?
Well, you bring a topic up.
Okay, I went to the council the other day, Mornington Shire Council. You know, the council that spent $50,000 on counting koalas in the Shire. What about gender equality? There are 7 women councillors and 3 men. I don't hear men putting their hand up and saying there's inequality.
Are you serious?
I am deadly serious. You said bring up a topic. I just brought one up.
No, Don. I was just about to read out what the Cambridge Dictionary said was the definition of a man. You said, "Oh, who's interested in that?" And you bring up exactly the same topic as I'm about to read out, which is what this is going on in this planet. Let me say this now. I've not heard anyone else besides me say this. I bet someone will jump onto it soon. There are only 2 biological sexes.
I know.
That's a person with 2 X chromosomes, and that is a woman, or a man who's got an XY chromosome, that's a man. Right. This is what the Cambridge Dictionary says is a man. An adult who lives and identifies as male, though they may have been said to have a different sex at birth. That's what they say a man is. And then they say, this is a woman. A woman is an adult who lives and identifies as female, though they may have been said to have a different sex at birth. Can you believe?
Yeah, but when was it revised? Shouldn't it? Doesn't
recently.
It get how long ago?
Well, does it matter?
Yes, it does.
Just recently it was revised. That is so much bullshit and is so much poppycock, Don. A man is someone with an XY chromosome. A woman is someone with 2 X chromosomes. That's it. No good saying what you identify as or what you want to be. You can want to be anything you wish. But that fancy demeaning the English language and the definition of biological people on this planet by doing that. And they should be ashamed of themselves for bending to the woke bullshit who people say, oh no, you got to include all that crap. That's just so much nonsense. So then, Channel 10, have a listen to this.
Oh yeah, I know what you're going to bring up.
Channel 10 have decided that Australia Day is
I'll just get it out here.
No, I know what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, they've got the choice as
That's
to whether they come to work or respect Australia Day, the employees.
And I think it's fantastic, Don.
What?
I think it's fantastic. They
Why?
say that you shouldn't have to celebrate Australia Day if you don't want to, because Australia Day is, let me just find it here. Oh yes, Australia Day is offensive to Indigenous people, and that you shouldn't have to celebrate Australia Day. Well,
No, they've given it a choice, haven't they?
Yes, I think it's fantastic. If you don't want to celebrate Australia Day, if the 3% of Australians who are Indigenous don't want to celebrate Australia Day, that's fine. Let the other 97% of the community celebrate Australia Day. Give people the choice. If you don't wish to celebrate Anzac Day or Christmas Day or Easter or New Year's Day, don't do any of it. And I think it's a very, very good choice that you give the 3% of Australians who are Indigenous the choice not to celebrate Australia Day. And they said if you don't wish to come to work on the holiday, then you don't have to, or you can come to work. I would say you can't have it both ways. If you don't celebrate Australia Day, then you should come to work, because you're not taking it off.
If they come to
for
work
the
on
holiday.
Australia Day, I wonder if they put their hand up for triple time.
Double time, all that. So
Yeah.
I think Channel 10, I think it's Paramount, who own Paramount, the American company, and Paramount ANZ, who are the owners of Channel 10, they have decided that you don't have to celebrate Australia Day. We should call it Foundation Day or Discovery Day, because if Governor Phillip hadn't gone up the river all those years ago and founded and discovered Australia, none of this would be here, because there was nothing here before he came. So if you don't wish
I
to...
thought William Dampier or Hartog discovered
Dirk
Australia.
Hartog.
Dirk Hartog discovered Australia.
So I think it's a terrific compromise, Don.
Who left the plate on the post? Was it Dirk Hartog or William Dampier?
Someone at the...
What?
Someone at...
So we could have been Dutch had they have had a little bit of foresight.
Yep.
We could
Anyhow,
have been New Holland. Well, it was called New Holland.
It was
wasn't it?
indeed. It was called New Holland before it was called Australia. So, Don, I think it's fantastic that you're given a choice. You don't want to celebrate Australia Day, go and desecrate all the statues of Captain Cook and go and protest at the shrine and burn down things. That's fantastic. And,
I wonder
and
where we'd
graffiti
be,
things.
Johnny.
If you don't want to celebrate Australia, well done to Channel 10 for giving people the option. 3% of the population don't want to do it, and 97% might want to do it, and what a sensible choice to give people.
What do you think you'd be doing had the Dutch or the Spanish settled Australia? Where do you think you'd be now? Or do you think you'd be sitting here behind the microphone?
I probably would have known a lot of Dykes. Dykes, they're from the Dutch dikes. That's what holds the water back. They're dikes. A dike is a water channel. That's the Dutch name for a water channel. What are you looking at? I'm looking it up. Is that car? Anyone got into that car yet?
No. We've just got a guest coming in, and he's got a backpack on, and he's got a couple of coffees and a drink. What's going on here today? We just got cake before. We got cake, and I got a bottle of whiskey. Where does all that come from, Johnny? Hey, why are we getting so many presents? Johnny?
Hang on.
Jeez. If we had Rod Law here, this would have been done by now. We need a producer.
If we'd had Rod Law, this would have been done over.
Hey, I got a photograph too. Hey, photograph sent from... I wish we had television coverage. This is a terrific photograph. It was sent to me.
Sit down, Doc. Dr. James Stewart has come in. I asked him to come in because we have questions about the marijuana oil that I want to pose to someone, and he's not allowed to call it marijuana oil.
No,
he's
but
called
I want to ask him about
plant-induced health therapy shit or something.
Psychiatric, what's that word? You know,
psychiatric?
No, drugs. Psychedelic drugs. Because I saw something the other day. Hey, there's a photograph which our listeners can't listen. Johnny, have a look at this photograph. There's only two people remaining. This was from happier days when the podcast first started.
Yeah.
Now, in the photograph, let me go through. You and I are standing at the back. And in the foreground, we've got Rod Law, Mike Sheehan, both got one, Mike's got his arm around Rod Law. We've got Jacinta Clayton and Lizzie Sheehan. We're the only two left standing.
How did you get, why have you been sent a photo of
that? Well, it's got Jacinta, your former PA, sent it to me. And it's been posted on social media. Have a look at that.
I'm looking
We're
at
the only two still standing.
That's right. And
you have blasted everybody there.
And we're only. Oh no, I'm only just standing with you, Don, because you get more infuriating week after week. Now we're going to.
You wouldn't believe it, bloody Mike.
We're going to close this first segment down because the doc has arrived, and we've got far more topics to speak about. I'm just reading out what Dutch Dykes are. Dutch Dyke, a flood control is an important issue for the Netherlands as it is due to low elevation. They put in dikes to control the flow of water, and that's why I said if we were Dutch, I would have known a lot of dikes.
The only dike I've heard of...
Don't go on with it. I'm closing it off now.